Ryan Shtuka is a 20-year-old Canadian man who mysteriously vanished from the Sun Peaks Resort Village in British Columbia on February 17, 2018. Despite immense volunteer efforts and extensive law enforcement investigations, his disappearance remains an unsolved missing persons case with no traces or clues ever recovered. You're listening to Lurking in the Shadows. Hello, Shadows.
Hello, everybody.
Got another episode for you today.
Yes. Can you believe we're going into peak summer already?
I know. I think, isn't today the first day of summer?
Is
officially?
it? Would it be?
When we're recording this?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to that stuff, but maybe. Possibly.
I think it is.
Well, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It surely feels like summer, so.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Finally.
Don't burn it up.
Well, I got a mysterious disappearance today. Haven't done one of these in a little bit.
I was going to say, I didn't think that we had covered one of those in a hot minute. That's mostly your wheelhouse, but.
Yeah. There's been a lot of murder lately.
You know. I mean, I know that's what you're here for as well, but.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we're going to get back to my favorites. Mystery disappearances.
It's just so weird because that's your favorite, and that is one of my almost least favorites. I need answers.
Yeah, I mean, I do like having answers, but I also I like the unknown at the same time. I like that it makes me think.
Yes, makes you use your brain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So Ryan Shtuka was born on March 17th, 1997, to parents Heather and Scott Shtuka. His mother jokingly recalled that he was born notably long and skinny rather than a typically plump baby. He eventually grew into a tall, lean young man with blonde hair and brown eyes. The Shtuka family initially lived in Edmonton, Alberta, before relocating to the small, tight-knit community of Beaumont, Alberta, when Ryan was young. And shout out to our number one fan, Steph in Canada.
Hell yeah, let's go. Let's go, Canada!
Ryan was the eldest of 3 children. He grew up alongside his 2 sisters, Jordan, who is 3 years younger, and Juliana, 8 years younger. His mother notes that while he was a typical big brother who teased and mocked his sisters, he loved them fiercely. Ryan is described by his family as curious, athletic, kind, humorous, and a loyal friend who was highly passionate about snowboarding and the outdoors. Ryan spent much of his childhood outdoors and loved exploring. He also enjoyed typical kid things such as superheroes, Beyblades, and trading cards like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! But his biggest passion was dinosaurs.
Pretty cool.
Following his disappearance, his childhood love of dinosaurs inspired his family to use small, green 3D printed dinosaur figurines as an emblem of hope and awareness for his case.
Oh, that's cute.
It is. His mom, Heather, described him as, quote, great, funny, a loyal guy, sarcastic, and great with his friends. She also said he liked to tease, but never in a cruel way. He was just a very kind guy and fun to be around. Ryan played soccer and ringette and developed a love for snowboarding. I had to look up what ringette is. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
According to Google, ringette is a fast-paced team sport played on ice skates where players use a straight stick to pass around and shoot a blue rubber ring into the opposing team's net. So I don't know really how different that is than hockey. But it's often
are offended that you said that.
I know. Often dubbed the fastest game on ice, it is a non-contact sport that emphasizes passing, skating, and teamwork.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it even says that unlike hockey, which uses a flat puck, ringette uses a hollow circular rubber ring.
Okay, so. Difference.
Still pretty similar, but yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan also developed a love for snowboarding.
Which, I mean, being there, that's probably the top outdoor sport, to be honest.
Yeah, probably. I mean, they get a lot of snow up there.
Yeah.
As he got into his teenage years, Ryan became more distant with his parents, as most teenagers do. He began to act up at times and challenge his parents, mostly his dad, Scott, because his mom, Heather, was more of the disciplinarian. But despite his teenage outbursts, he would still come to his parents when he needed help or advice. Heather said their kids were easy to raise. She said, quote, "We never had any problems with any of our kids growing up. They were never disrespectful. We never had curfew. We never really grounded them. They didn't really get into trouble," end quote.
I need good kids like that. Mine are
Yeah.
rotten. My
I
four-legged.
just had to lock one away while we
Yeah,
recorded.
you just had to literally lock up. She just literally had to lock up her child, her four-legged child.
Not lock her up, but I had to put her in another room and
Yeah,
close the
like
door.
she would not behave.
I know. We're referring to a cat when we say child
Yeah,
here. Ryan attended Ecole Secondaire Beaumont Composite High School in his hometown of Beaumont, Alberta, and graduated in 2015. During his time at the school, Ryan was well known within the close-knit student body, and he actively participated in school sports, playing on the high school rugby team. Ryan was a good student, but he wasn't sure what he wanted to do after he graduated. He worked in construction as an apprentice for a year to make some money immediately after graduating. But after that first year, he was still unsure what he wanted to do, so he decided to take another year and continue working and making money before going to college. In December of 2017, Ryan, along with his friend James, made the move to Sun Peaks Resort in British Columbia to live and work. Sun Peaks Resort is a ski resort located in Sun Peaks, British Columbia, Canada, 56.6 kilometers northeast of Kamloops, with only one road going in and out of the resort. So it's kind of like in an isolated area.
yeah, way out there.
Mm-hmm. The summit of the ski area is an elevation of 2,080 meters with an 882-meter vertical rise from the base of the peak.
Damn.
So pretty tall. Sun Peaks is a top ski resort offering world-class skiing, snowboarding, golf, mountain biking, dining, and slopeside lodging. It has 4,270 acres of skiable terrain across 3 mountain peaks, and it's Canada's second largest ski area.
Who would have thunk, actually? That, you know what, British Columbia, I guess that makes sense. For out
Mhm.
that way, because
Yeah,
also I feel like there's a lot of skiing. Well, there's a lot of skiing up north as well and snowboarding, but out west, huge thing as well.
yeah. British Columbia is more out west in Canada.
Yeah, yeah.
Sun Peaks has a population of just 600 permanent residents, but regularly hosts over 250,000 winter visitors each year. So in the off season, there's only 600 people there.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
It is
Well,
crazy.
it's way out there, so
Yeah, so it's like an everybody knows everybody type of town. Ryan worked as a seasonal lift operator, also called a lifty, in the lift department at Sun Peaks Resort. He spent his season operating and managing the Village Platter and Village Carpet surface lifts, which are located near the base of the resort village. When he wasn't working or hanging out with his friends, he loved to hit the slopes on his snowboard and was known to hit the hills early in the morning before his shifts. Ryan shared a rental cabin with James and 4 other seasonal resort workers. So it's kind of a good or a nice little situation they got going on there.
I was gonna say it does sound like he's living the life. He has to wake up, do something he's passionate about, and then work doing
Mm-hmm.
something he's passionate about.
Yeah, and then still get to enjoy it on his like time off or even before his shift. Ryan Shtuka's final work shift occurred on Friday, February 16th, 2018, just hours before he vanished. It was a standard routine day that gave no indication of anything being wrong. His shift ended at 7 o'clock p.m., at which point he clocked out and headed back to the cabin he shared with his roommates. He had plans with his roommates James, Kristen, Chris, and some other friends that evening, so before going home, he stopped at a bank to take out money to buy some alcohol. They all had a few beers before heading to, I don't know if it's Masa or Mesa's Bar and Grill around 8:30 p.m., then to Bottoms, a popular local bar, for a silent disco night around 9:30 p.m. And there's a photo of him from that night at the silent disco.
Yeah,
He's like wearing headphones, holding a glass cup, smiling, so he looks like he's having a good time.
good.
I don't think I could ever go to a
I
silent disco.
I don't think I can. I don't think I
I
could do it.
don't. It would be. I would feel weird.
I've had an
I don't.
opportunity to, and I did not partake. So
Yeah, I don't think I would enjoy something like that. Everyone's just like vibing to something different, so everyone's gonna be like dancing differently. I don't know. It's just
Yeah,
weird.
I don't know. I want us to enjoy the music together.
Yeah, yeah. They all had a great time. There were no reports of like any issues or arguments or anything like that. After the silent disco, the group headed to the lower village back to staffing quarters located on Burfield Drive, where the party continued around midnight. There was alcohol and MDMA being used, which Ryan partook in.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, that's a trip.
Yeah.
Literally.
Most of the people at the house party had to work the next morning, so it was more of like a laid back, friends chilling type of vibe rather than like a true party. A heavy winter storm was moving in, so James decided to head back to their cabin around 1:30 in the morning, which was only a 5-minute walk away. Two of Ryan's other roommates, Chris and Kristen, decided to head out around 2:10 a.m. Ryan was standing by the front door putting on his coat and shoes, so Kristen and Chris assumed he would just follow after them, but they didn't actually wait for him. So 2:12 a.m. kind of marks the point of his disappearance because he was seen leaving the house after Chris and Kristen, but he never catches up with them or arrives back at their cabin. So it's February in Canada.
Yep.
The temp that night was negative 20 Celsius or
Oh,
negative 4 Fahrenheit,
that's disgusting.
and there was snow falling on top of the 18 feet of snow already piled on the sides of the road from when it had been plowed. So there's like 18-foot piles of snow on the sides of the road,
Yeah,
and there's another snowstorm coming through.
that's crazy. That's a crazy amount of
Hmm.
snow.
Yeah, and crazy temperature to be walking home in.
Yes.
Oh, that's disgusting. I don't know how. I don't know how Canadians do it. This resort is kind of in an isolated area, so there are no street lights on that road that goes in and out. But we have to also remember, like Ryan lived here, and he literally walked this road every single day.
Yeah. I mean, you should be familiar with it, but
Yeah. Later that morning of February 17th, Ryan never shows up for work. Initially, his boss figured that he was running a little late because he would often show up late due to hitting the slopes before his shift, but he never actually shows up for work. Missing work, especially without calling in first, is very out of character for Ryan. Ryan's boss contacted his roommate James around 7 p.m. to let him know that Ryan never came in for his shift that day. James checked Ryan's room, but his bed was empty and looked like he had never even come home after the party. James called all of their friends to check if anyone had seen or heard from Ryan, but no one had. He even called like local hospitals in case Ryan was injured, but none of the nearby hospitals had a record of him being there. So this is when James decided to call the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, or RCMP, to report Ryan as a missing person around 8:47 p.m. Heather and Scott, his parents, were also notified, and they immediately traveled the 9.5-hour drive to Sun Peaks to meet with the police about Ryan's disappearance. What a heart-wrenching drive that must have been.
oh,
Nine and a half hours.
yeah. Yeah.
Your child is missing.
Yeah, then there's nothing else you can do. Just keep driving.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And all that time that's going by as you're driving.
Yeah, that'd drive you insane.
Mm-hmm. The initial search for Ryan Shtuka was a massive, immediate operation that faced extreme environmental obstacles. Because he was a reliable employee, the alarm was raised within roughly 12 hours of his disappearance. So this sparked a multi-layered rescue effort that quickly evolved into one of the largest missing person searches in British Columbia's history. Searchers focused their immediate efforts directly on the short route between the house party on Burfield Drive and Ryan's cabin, which, like I said, it's only 5 minutes apart. A severe winter storm had dumped a massive layer of fresh, heavy snow at the time Ryan walked outside, so this completely erased any potential footprints, tracks, or drop marks that might have indicated which way he went.
Yeah, that's the damnedest thing about snow. You know, like
I know.
there was another case you had that um
Yeah, a boy was went missing and he was found in the woods with
in the
no
snow,
footprints.
but no footprints or nothing around, so nobody we
Hmm.
didn't know how he got there type of thing. But
Yeah.
like, I don't know, the snow can definitely make an investigation a lot harder.
Yeah. The RCMP immediately urged all Sun Peaks residents to search their own properties. Homeowners were asked to thoroughly check garages, crawl spaces, unlocked vehicles, and sheds operating under the theory that a disoriented Ryan may have crawled inside to seek shelter from the sub-zero temperatures. As the days progressed, the search rapidly scaled up to incorporate heavily specialized tools and personnel. The RCMP utilized their Air Force helicopter, infrared equipment drones, and local snowmobiles to scout the steep forested terrain from above. Police tracking dogs and specialized team from the Canadian Search and Disaster Dogs Association, also known as CASDA, were brought in to track scents through the snow, but because the snow was incredibly deep, searchers resorted using to bobcats and excavators to systematically move giant snowbanks and drifts in the village area to ensure nothing was buried underneath.
Wow, what a huge operation they were sitting there doing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, because time is not on their side with those temperatures. Like, if he's out there, you got to find him.
Yeah.
A police dive team was also brought in to check nearby frozen or semi-frozen bodies of water and deep drainage gullies. So they're using, like, sounds like all the resources they have.
Yeah.
After these first few searches were conducted, the RCMP had halted searching for Ryan because they said that with the temperatures and terrain, there is pretty much no chance of them finding him alive outside in the elements.
No, there really isn't. It doesn't matter at those temperatures. If he had the most winter gear on outside at night, overnight, he's just not going to make it.
Yeah. And it didn't sound like he was dressed very well. He just had like a little jacket and his jeans that he was wearing.
Yeah.
So Ryan's parents, Heather and Scott Shtuka, took the searches into their own hands, and they basically moved to Sun Peaks to coordinate a grassroots search driven heavily by social media appeals. And it worked because a massive wave of volunteers arrived at the mountain. Between 40 to 60 search and rescue professionals worked alongside hundreds of civilian volunteers.
That's awesome.
They conducted tight shoulder-to-shoulder grid searches through the dense snow-heavy wilderness bordering the resort. Ground searches took place every day for the first 5 months of Ryan's disappearance and then once a month going forward. So they were very dedicated. Every day for 5 months, they're out there searching in freezing temperatures.
Freezing. It started in February. They had to make it through all the rest of winter.
Yeah. His parents stayed in Sun Peaks for 3 to 4 months straight to assist with the searches before returning home for their daughter's birthday.
Oh.
They offered a $15,000 reward for anyone with information leading to his whereabouts at that time. But despite weeks of intense, highly coordinated physical scouting, the initial search yielded absolutely zero clues. Nothing. No clothing, no cell phone, nor personal belongings were ever recovered to this day.
Damn.
We don't have a single piece of evidence that even showed he existed out there.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He just vanished.
Yes. Over 300 tips have been submitted to the Kamloops RCMP and volunteer organizations since Ryan Shtuka went missing. While authorities state that no single tip has provided definitive physical evidence, several specific reports heavily shaped the direction of the investigation. One of the most notable leads came from a local resident who lived near the route Ryan would have taken. A man reported being abruptly woken in the early morning hours of February 17, 2018, to the sound of someone yelling, "Get in the fucking car."
Oh.
This tip heavily fueled theories that Ryan may have been abducted, met with foul play, or was picked up by someone he knew. However, police were never able to definitively link the argument to Ryan, track down the vehicle, or identify the voices that were heard. Numerous tips urged police to pull commercial and municipal surveillance records around the resort. While Sun Peaks Resort maintains security cameras, including an important camera monitoring the single road leading in and out of Mountain Village. Are you ready for this? Investigators discovered these cameras were not operational on the night Ryan vanished.
Of course they weren't. Of course they weren't. They are. They never are. Never are.
No. It's shit like this that always makes me think someone close to the victim has to be involved, because what are the odds that cameras are found to not be functioning in such a large number of missing persons cases?
Yeah. Yeah, there's an
Like,
issue.
it can't be coincidence that so many cases have non-functioning cameras at the time the person goes missing.
Yeah,
It's
there's
crazy.
I don't know, but then we sit here and have how many technology issues on our
I
podcast.
know, I know. All the issues we've had, so maybe it is realistic.
It really is. I'm telling
It's just
you,
frustrating.
it is.
Dashcam and private residential security footage tips were extensively reviewed, but Ryan was never seen on any of them. Forensic data tips provided by cellular network providers found that Ryan's phone registered its final network ping at 3 a.m., approximately 50 minutes after he left the house party. So, because a walk to his cabin should have only taken 5, maybe up to 15 minutes because of the snow,
Yeah.
this tip proved that Ryan was either still outdoors moving around or that his phone remained powered on for nearly an hour after he left the house party. So, like, where did he go?
Yeah, and did friends say like how intoxicated like
I didn't really read reports of how intoxicated he was, but I mean, he was drinking and used MDMA, so he was under
yeah,
the
that's right.
influence.
That's right, MDMA. Damn.
Hmm.
And I don't know like how experienced he is with that kind of shit. So, um
Yeah, I don't know how often he used that. Because, I mean, you could easily say, yeah, he just got lost and disoriented
yeah.
because he was under the influence, but at the same time, he was 5 minutes away from his cabin.
Yeah.
It's like, it's very sad.
Yeah, but Kirsten, you gotta think some people get home from the bar and can't even make it to their beds or drunk
Yeah.
or drugged up.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think it is possible. I do.
Yeah, it's certainly possible. It's just like, why is there no evidence? Why, like, we didn't find anything. Like, even if he had traveled far out there, he would eventually become hypothermic, which often causes that paradoxical undressing.
Yeah, yeah.
You'd think we'd see some clothing left behind somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Cuz then I could sit here and also be like there's some big animals out there. Middle of winter too.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like
Yep.
scary animals. That's Canada. They got some big animals up there.
Yeah. Bobcats.
Yeah. Yeah, all those creatures that could get you. There are ones that are hunting in the night.
Hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities.
Yeah.
In the initial weeks, tips from the public regarding possible hiding places prompted the RCMP to issue a directive. Acting on concerns that a freezing individual would seek shelter, they again reminded everyone to check any like crawl spaces or any thing that they might have where someone could go in and hide from the temperatures.
Yeah.
Every checked structure unfortunately came up empty, though. Even in the summer, when the snow was melted and terrain was visible, nothing was ever found. No remains, nothing. If he was out there, we'd have his body. There would be remains.
Somewhere.
So
I
where is
mean, I don't know. I don't know. What if his body was there and then scavengers got it before we could sit there and go looking for it?
maybe? But with people out there like looking for him for every day for 5 months straight,
Yeah.
I mean, you'd think they would have came across something before a scavenger just completely ate his entire body. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. See, this is why I don't like these fucking cases. I don't like answers like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that our final answer is not a final answer.
Yeah. Hmm. See, I mean, like initially, I feel like it's obvious to think, well, clearly he got lost and succumbed to the elements, but like, still no remains all these years later, even after the snow has melted every single year. Like, I feel like foul play has to be the answer.
Well, I do think, especially in my mind, the weight of his cell phone was on for how much longer.
Hmm.
Um, that yeah, maybe it is the theory of like being taken or something.
Yeah, I mean, unless he did somehow travel like miles away in the freezing temperatures, and his remains are just somewhere far away that hasn't been searched.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. Sounds
Because it
like
just makes you wonder, like, how, like, yeah, how under the influence was he? How
yeah.
disoriented would he have been at this time?
I mean, yeah, what if you're on a hallucinogen? What if
Hmm.
in his mind he thought he only walked 5 minutes when really it was 50?
Yeah. And he's just somewhere really far away and had, you know, maybe he passed out, fell asleep. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe also by that point he's so cold though, like he's maybe his brain is not sitting here going through the typical hypothermia reactions, maybe,
Hmm.
or he could like he could have fell and cracked his head and just
Hmm.
died, and I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's tough.
It is.
The investigation experienced a notable influx of new tips in the last few years following the family's increased reward to $25,000 and collaboration with the volunteer group Please Bring Me Home. Private investigators are still evaluating newer anonymous submissions to see if they can break the silence surrounding this area. In June of 2021, police conducted their first organized search for Ryan since the original search conducted in 2018, but it still yielded no evidence. Years into the investigation, a tipster came forward with a possible conflicting timeline suggestion. It proposed that Ryan may have actually walked out of the house party earlier, closer to 1:30 in the morning. So this alternative timeline generated a theory that Ryan was spotted in the Fairways Drive area trying to find food before village businesses closed down at 2 a.m. So if that's true, it means he did not head straight home, widening the potential geographic search radius significantly. But like I said, I don't know how far out they searched. Like, did they? Because I know they originally did the immediate radius, but did they check miles away? I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like also could they even check miles away?
Right. I feel like
That
Canada is so vast, and this area is more, um, like, I don't know what's the word.
well, I feel like the
It's
terrain
like
and
more
stuff.
farther out there. Yeah, and with the terrain, it would be difficult.
Yeah, how far out can they actually really go?
Hmm.
You know.
Yeah. Brian Smith, a retired RCMP investigator with 25 years of experience who volunteered to help the family, initially believed Ryan simply succumbed to the elements. However, his theory changed after conducting private interviews. Smith publicly noted that one of Ryan's acquaintances acted incredibly nervous and terrified during questioning, leading him to report a gut feeling of homicide to the active RCMP. While the RCMP re interviewed everyone and stated they found no evidence of foul play, the lingering human anxiety surrounding the party continues to fuel local speculation. So it's like, yeah, if nothing happened at the party, why is this guy acting so scared and anxious when he's being interviewed?
Yeah, I know, but like how much weight can you put behind that?
Yeah. It gave this investigator a bad gut feeling, but
Yeah, but also investigators a lot of times are more prone to want to just close an investigation and I feel like blame it on whoever looks the most nervous.
mhm, yeah. I don't know if he was saying that that guy seemed suspicious, but I think he was just saying that his reaction made him think that something more sinister happened to Ryan.
Okay, yeah.
Ryan's friends and family created a logo for their missing person flyers and clothing. It featured a green dinosaur inside a green heart. Like I mentioned earlier, Ryan loved dinosaurs as a child. He liked to play a game where one person would describe a dinosaur species and the other would have to guess what it was. His interest became so intense that his parents eventually began studying paleontology themselves just to keep up with him and his facts.
That's cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Over time, the dinosaur took on a name, the Shtukasaurus. A 3D printed model of the Shtukasaurus was created and distributed as part of the search effort. Each dinosaur includes a laminated tag, a QR code that links to the missing Ryan Shtuka Facebook page, and a poem printed on the back. And I'm going to read what it says. You found a Shtukasaurus. My name is Ryan Shtuka. I am a Shtukasaurus. I'm a curious type and so love adventures, of course. I'm traveling the world with my story to tell of how loved I am and so missed as well. Pick me up and handle with care. Take a picture with me anywhere. You can take me home or leave me right here. All I ask is your picture you'll share. Just one more thing before we say goodbye. Kindness is something in which I believe. It is how we get by. Please do something kind for a soul you don't know. Random acts of kindness will help the love grow. Thousands of these dinosaurs were made and distributed around the world. People started posting photos wherever they took their dinosaur if they found one, like on trips, to landmarks, doing daily tasks. Some people would leave them behind for others to find. As of 2025, the dinosaurs have traveled to 86 countries, and the QR code has been scanned more than 10,000 times.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's like a unique way of getting his story out there.
That is, yeah.
So, what are some theories in this case? The Kamloops RCMP do not have a single definitive theory, but they maintain an open investigation that treats three primary scenarios as possibilities. Officially, police state that there is no direct evidence of foul play or criminal activity, but they have never ruled it out due to the literally complete lack of evidence in this case. So, the first theory is accidental exposure. Investigators strongly focused on the possibility that Ryan was intoxicated, became disoriented in the blinding snowstorm, wandered off the path, and succumbed to the elements. The dense wilderness and steep terrain surrounding some peaks can easily trap or disorient someone at night. He may have fallen into a deep ravine, a drainage culvert, or a tree well, which is the dangerous loose snow pocket at the base of an evergreen tree. This remains a highly plausible scenario, though it is confounded by the fact that after years of intense spring snow melts, canine tracking, and hiker sweeps have never turned up a single piece of his clothing, his phone, or his body.
Yeah.
So that's a likely scenario to a point, but then you're like, well, then where's his body?
Yeah.
If he fell and was buried under the snow, we'd have his body, and it would probably be preserved because of the cold temperatures.
Yeah. Honestly,
It would likely not just be bones.
Yeah.
Number 2 is a hit and run accident. This theory suggests Ryan was accidentally struck by a vehicle, such as a passenger car, a snowplow, or heavy resort grooming equipment navigating the snow or navigating the low visibility storm on Burfield Drive. Panicked by the accident, the driver may have loaded Ryan into the vehicle and transported his body far off the mountain to conceal the crime. So this would explain why police tracking dogs lost his scent and why no physical evidence was ever found on the road. So, I mean, I feel like that's possible.
It is. It is. It definitely
No
is.
storms coming through. There's no lights on the road. You can't see.
It would give a little more fuel to the guy being nervous, like he knew something happened to him.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah.
You know, I can't like sit here and say no, you know. Like,
No.
it's a
Yeah, it's
possibility.
possible.
Yeah.
And the third theory is foul play or a party incident cover up. So this theory proposes that something happened to Ryan either inside the house party or immediately outside of it, involving individuals who may have kept a code of silence. Early in the case, a private investigator suggested homicide based on interviews with a fearful acquaintance, like I mentioned. Some online speculation also questioned if drug activity was involved. His mother, Heather Shtuka, though, firmly debunked this. She said that Ryan had a clean, active finances with no unexplained debts or income. So I guess she's saying she doesn't think he would be like a drug dealer type of thing.
Yeah, he wasn't like involved in those kind of activities.
Yeah. The Kamloops RCMP interviewed everyone at the party extensively and stated they found no credible evidence or signs of a struggle to support a criminal or suspicious event. Because the Kamloops RCMP have reached a standstill with the physical landscape, they treat this case as a missing person investigation. They believe the resolution depends entirely on human information rather than physical searches.
At this point, absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, the party theory is also, I guess, possible. Maybe if Ryan was the last person or one of the last people left, maybe something did happen. Maybe he overdosed. I don't know.
I think I mean, we don't know the type of people that were at that party. So, I mean, if that happened, maybe they are shady people.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I mean, this is a small town.
Yeah.
So I also do feel like secrets could be held as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
I think that a small town could also hold those secrets too. Like
Mm-hmm.
they could, if something like that happened, I think that that could be a secret that people would keep.
Yeah. Very small population.
Yeah.
It's possible.
So again, another theory that I think is possible.
Mm-hmm. That was like that one case I covered. I think I titled it "Secrets in Silver Valley," where those three mysterious teenagers died. But in that case, it also seems like people are hiding something too.
Yeah, especially in small towns.
Yeah, and it was a
Yeah.
small town.
Hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is one of the very few cases we've shown where there's literally zero evidence.
No. Yeah.
Zero.
I I got no ideas.
Me either. Except for,
I I- at this point, he could have been abducted by aliens.
yeah, I was going to say that too.
Yeah. He
My
literally.
shirt is fitting for this episode.
Yeah. That's what you were. That's maybe that's your theory. That's why you wear the
Yeah.
shirt. There's
Yeah, maybe.
aliens.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Anything's possible at this point because we have nothing.
Yeah. I do feel like we have all the theories have some kind of weight to them in some way.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah.
The Kamloops RCMP continues to urge anyone with information, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, to come forward. If you know anything about the disappearance of Ryan Shtuka, you can call the Kamloops RCMP at 1-250-828-3000 or submit an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS, which is 8477. Or if you want to reach out to Ryan's parents directly with non-critical details, you can contact them at Find Ryan Shtuka, which is SHTUKA, at gmail.com, or fill out the contact form directly on the official Missing Ryan Shtuka website that we will link in the show notes below. At the time of his disappearance, Ryan Shtuka was 6 feet tall, 180 pounds, with brown eyes and blonde hair. He was last seen wearing dark jeans, a gray-white shirt, a blue coat, and a burgundy baseball cap. His mom actually wrote a memoir about the disappearance of Ryan titled Missing from Me. It was released through Tellwell Publishing and rapidly climbed to a #1 Amazon bestseller in the grief and bereavement category.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's kind of sad.
it is. The
Hmm.
memoir specifically captures the emotional and logistical whirlwind of the first 12 months following Ryan's disappearance, specifically covering the time frame from February 17, 2018 until February 17, 2019. The book serves as an intimate look into a family's nightmare. It documents Heather's sudden forced transformation from a regular devoted parent into an active on the ground search coordinator and a prominent missing persons advocate. Profits and awareness generated by the memoir helped establish the Freebird Project, which is a nonprofit organization Heather co-founded to provide an information hub, guidance, and community support for other Canadian families navigating the agonizing search for missing loved ones. So, following her memoir, Heather also published a children's book titled Let's Talk About Dinosaurs.
Fuck me up.
I know. This book was written in honor of Ryan's childhood obsession with dinosaurs, and which was the inspiration behind the green Shtukasaurus figurines that his family distributes. The
Yeah, which I
twenty-five
think everybody
thousand dollars. Oh,
should be
go
looking
ahead.
for them. Everybody should be looking for those
Yeah,
out there.
yeah, yeah. If you see one, definitely take a picture and post it.
Yeah,
The $25,000 reward still remains active, which is a lot of money.
it is.
The resort community also continues to keep Ryan's name in public awareness. The Shtuka family, alongside community members from Kamloops and Sun Peaks, hold an annual Run for Ryan Memorial Ski Run at the top of the Sunburst Express lift to mark the passage of time and ensure the case remains visible. So that would be cool to do sometime, even though I
Yeah.
cannot ski.
No, it is
I
on
would
my
fall in the
bucket
first 5 seconds.
list. No, like I just want to try it once type of thing,
Yeah.
you know.
His home municipality, the city of Beaumont, Alberta, is actively exploring formal civic plans to establish a permanent commemoration in honor of Ryan to cement his legacy within his home community. The school community also established a legacy award in his honor, the Ryan Shtuka Leadership Award, funding a rugby leadership scholarship to commemorate Ryan's athletic spirit, humor, and dedication to his peers. And lastly, the online missing persons community tracking his case has grown to over 70,000 active members, acting as a continuous hub for sharing information, generating podcast deep dives, and keeping his description circulated globally.
Very nice.
And that is the mysterious disappearance of Ryan Shtuka.
Well, I'm frustrated. So
Yeah, it is. Like, there's no one theory is, you can't really say, oh, that's impossible to any
yeah,
of them.
yeah. No, they all, like I said, have something in them that could be like, oh yeah, maybe,
Yeah, including an alien abduction.
including alien abduction. Yes.
Yeah,
So,
it's crazy. Like, nothing.
well, I guess let us know your theories, really.
Yes, please let us know your theories below, especially if you're
'Cause, I
from
mean,
Canada.
yeah, and also like maybe things that we didn't even mention that could be possible.
Yeah, like if you're from the area and you've heard like people talking, like what are some hometown theories?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Give us the details.
Yeah, give us the tea.
Right. Why am I drawing a blank? Hold on, give me 2 seconds. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up and check us out on all of our other socials.
Please subscribe to our channel if you have not already. Hit the bell to be notified of future uploads and keep lurking around for our next video.
Bye.